Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I will be doing another 2 books in my reading journal that were favorites in July. Now, if you remember July, I read an astounding 20 books. So that's why I've had so many favorite books. I think this is book number 5 and 6 that I have shared with you. And I think this might be the last set of books, and then I'll move on to August. And of course, in August, I went back to work, so I didn't read nearly as much. I think I only read 9 or 10. I don't know. Either way, I still read, and it was still a good month of reading. So for these books, I have a tropical romance and also a nonfiction book that I found absolutely fascinating. I grabbed some washi tape, and I'm just going to layer some washi tape on the left-hand side, pink and blue, and then just the blue on the right-hand side. It has like some bubbles in it, and I thought that went perfect with the theme of tropical water and also the blue cover over on the right-hand side, and drowning having to do with water. I don't know. I just thought it worked perfect for both of the books that I have. I also want to stamp some flowers on the left-hand side and do a little bit more background stamping on the right-hand side as well. So I have some really big pink flowers, and I just used an Ali Edwards scrapbook stamp set, and I'm going to stamp the flowers in several different spots, and then I will add in a blue flower and also a purple one. I feel like I could have probably gone with the bigger flower being purple, since there seems to be more purple in the book cover, but that's okay. I'm glad that I have this new blue ink that I have. I don't remember what it's called. Broken China, I think. I don't know. But it's really pretty, and it matched perfectly with my book cover. I will finish up the stamping with some purple flowers. Like I said, there's some purple in the book cover, and having that bold purple flower really helps your eye to travel around the spread. So I'm going to stamp on the other side as well. And for this side, I'm also going to use the same flower that I stamped in purple, but this time I'll stamp it in blue. I've mentioned this probably several times, but I love having things that are obviously related between the 2 pages, whether it's the color or a washi strip. I don't know. I just like having one little piece of the spread come together, even if it's 2 different books, if that makes sense. I also stamped some leaves in a patina color, I think, and I just did that in various corners, and I also found like a small wave, and so I'm going to go ahead and use that in a black ink, and then I will be able to start on my synopsis and my thoughts, because these were 2 really awesome books. I love them. Perfect summer book, and also a really fascinating book that I learned a lot from. I put my rating down at the bottom for both of these books, and I drew the box as well. And right now, I just finished Hello Beautiful. I thought it was great, but I probably would have preferred it on audio, so all the characters came to life more. And I am going to start The Wishing Game, and I'm also listening to Local Woman Missing. So as always, I'd love to know what you guys are reading and enjoying. I just love reading those comments when you guys share those. So for the book number for Love Wrecked, it was 85 out of 100. And then genre, I will write romance. And I also added in survival, because it did have, that survival aspect. All right, so the synopsis is going to go up at the top, and I start with saying that Daisy, the main character, isn't having the best luck lately, but she's looking forward to her sister's destination wedding. Daisy doesn't feel so excited when she finds out the handsome and grumpy Ty Wakefield is the best man. Daisy's bad luck, quote unquote, continues when she winds up on a sailboat with the newlyweds. One of them is her sister. And then the boat crashes and they are shipwrecked. The deserted island includes a a research scientist, a feral goat, and enough time for Daisy and Ty to figure out their issues. Definitely a steamy romance, but they had that tropical location. And I will say that in my thoughts that it was very atmospheric, and I could really imagine the whole entire book unfolding. And of course, the side characters were just the best, especially the feral goat named Wilson and the silly oddball research scientist. So I'm going to get to my thoughts in just a second. And the whole reason that I read this book to begin with is because of Rate the Romance. One of the topics was to read a tropical book. So that's how I found this book. And I think I just found it through Kindle Unlimited. And it was so good. So good. Just one of those quick, easy reads that you just need in the summer. So I did say that I love the angst and the banter between both characters and, the side characters, of course. And then there's also like an underlying theme of growth for both of the characters, taking a chance on love again, grieving and being brave to like move forward in their life and figure out what's the next step for them. So there is that like side piece that is a little bit more serious than just the tropical location and the steamy romance, right? There's that. So once I got to the bottom of this page, obviously I'm out of room. So I realized I really wanted to add a few quotes, and there's one quote in particular that I wanted to have. So I'm going to go ahead and rip this cover up so that way I can add a flip up and add some quotes, because like I said, I wanted to have the quotes. So I got up the book cover relatively easy. I mean, sometimes it can just tear. And I grabbed a piece of white paper. I'm going to adhere it down and do the flap. I will also add some more of the stamping, the same type of stamping that I added to the main page. That way there's that continuity and it's less room for me to fill up. I probably could have used all the room to write all the quotes, but I just like having that stamping there, just so it looks the same as the rest of the spread. So I'm going to open it up and go ahead and stamp one big pink flower and then another one towards the bottom of the insert, and repeat the same process with the blue and the purple stamping. And like I said, I just finished the book Hello Beautiful, and you guys, that book was something. It was a saga of 4 sisters. I think the author paid homage to Little Women, and I shared that I was reading this book last week, and I had never had so many people say what a great book it was, and it really was. It was quite a book. Okay, so the quote that I really wanted to include is this. "How are we going to get through this?" she asked, Daisy speaking, her voice quiet against the roar of the downpour, the rain running into her eyes, her mouth. "Not just this storm, but all the days ahead of us." And then Ty responds, "One sunrise at a time." I tell her, "One sunrise at a time, and with me by your side, okay?" And then that's kind of like the mantra for the entire book, one sunrise at a time. And I love that. I think that is a powerful sentiment for so many different aspects of life. And there's a little like white piece where the flap is. So I'm going to cover that with some washi tape. I thought about getting out my stamps for a third time, but figured, you know what? I'm just going to save myself some time and just add in some washi. So I'll do that in a second. The next quote I have is, "It's better to be in a state of becoming than to be in a state of being." And then the third quote that I picked is somewhat similar, but I still wanted to have it. So it says, "We should always want more for ourselves, to be greater versions of ourselves. It's better to be in a state of becoming than being in a state of being." So I kind of repeated it, but I didn't realize it until I'd already finished. So that's okay. I have 2 quotes that are similar, but whatever. What can you do? I am now going to add that washi tape, and this time, instead of doing the pink as being the big one, I'm going to do the blue as the big one, because I figured that this flap washi is going to be right next to the top washi, and you can see that right now. So I just wanted blue right on the top, and then pink is the top layer. Blue is the bottom, pink is the top. There you go. I got it. I said it right. Okay, so now we are going to move on to how to keep house while drowning. And this is where I filled in my ratings. And again, of course, it's a romance. So this book, I don't even know how I stumbled on this book, but it's an audiobook that I listened to, and I'm so glad I did. It's narrated by the author, and it's only 3 hours, but it is like a game changer. Honestly, a game changer. And I think everyone should read it. And I'd love to know if you have read it. I loved it. And I honestly might go and listen to it again because I wound up taking notes while I was listening to this book. Like I would pause it, go back, pause it, go back. Like I don't normally do that with a lot of audiobooks, but this one I did because I really, really enjoyed it. And so the genres, of course, are nonfiction, self-help, and mental health. So the synopsis is, this nonfiction book from Casey Davis helps you see a revolutionary approach to cleaning. Her basic premise is that you don't work for your home works for you. Casey shares secrets to simplifying your to-do list, easing your mental load, and finding shortcuts based off of your energy for that particular day. Davis presents a profound new approach on how to manage your home. And to me, it really is profound, and it's kind of changed the way that I think about cleaning. I don't know about you, but I am being a creative person. When I have time to, like, time in the day, extra time, I don't know, I would rather create. So these little shortcuts are just fantastic. So my thoughts are going to be long, and I didn't really include quotes because I kind of included that in my thoughts. So I said this little gem of a book was only 3 hours, but packed with tips and information. I even wrote down notes because this book is just so good. And then I decided to list out my key takeaways. So chores are a kindness to your future self. Care tasks never end, so those should be considered morally neutral. And this last one really stuck with me. It's the whole concept of rethinking your messes, like not, I suck at doing dishes, I'm a horrible person. Instead, you think of it as, wow, we have cooked a lot this week. Yay us. So a lot of great tips and tricks in this book that I enjoyed. And I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing the spread come together. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.